In 2013 or so, we adopted another couple of children. So, and then we had another child as well. So we had 8 children in 2013 going into 2017. And by the time we got to 2017, I was kind of like, this is a lot. I don't know how to provide for them, and
Yeah.
there's a lot more story to it. But ultimately, what we realized is that we had equity trapped that we could use to purchase additional properties and then increase our cash flow, but then ultimately long term increase our net worth as well. And so we started doing that. And in the process of doing that, we were like, hey, this is working well. We found some turnkey providers that are fantastic. We still recommend people to them today. And um, the result was we were starting to help other people to get invested in single family homes.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest is a Michigan-based real estate investor active across multiple asset classes who also focuses on bringing missionaries and pastors into real estate investing. Please welcome Scott Florida. Scott, welcome to the show.
Hey, Dylan, thanks for having me, man. So excited to be here with you.
It's great to have you on the show here, Scott. I think what you're doing is great. We were talking a little bit before hopping onto the show here. You're really active across a wide range of asset classes in the real estate. I want to touch on that. But before we get into that, how did you get into the real estate space?
Yeah, that's a great question, man. Always want to know where the origin story is, right? How did this all
Right.
begin? And for us, it was my wife and I coming into a new community. We took a job at a church here in our area and needing to find a home. And we were looking and couldn't find anything that really fit our buy box, which was, a nice enough home for us to grow our family, but then also in a nice enough neighborhood to where we felt comfortable with the kids running around and building relationships and being out at night. And so we were just trying to find that balance, and it was just difficult. And interest rates were over 8% at the time. This is like the late 90s. And so we were trying to figure that all out. And ultimately, we were invited over to a missionary friend's house who owned a duplex. And so he had us over for dinner, and we had just a blast being with them. And then we're looking at this duplex going, this is so nice. It's nicer than any of the homes we're looking at. And there's 3 bedrooms and it's got a garage. And ultimately he's like, yeah, well, and you've got, somebody helping you pay the mortgage. And so for us, it was kind of a light bulb moment. And we ended up buying a duplex that's literally 2 doors down from them. And so we ended up being neighbors as well. And so it was just an incredible opportunity for us. And then from there, we actually bought another one a couple of years later that was farther down. We started to see how it worked. Like, okay, people are helping you pay the mortgage. This is a potentially productive way to move forward. So we bought another duplex. That was about the year 2000. And lived in that for 7 years. It was supposed to be a 2-year plan, but things go. And so that was only a 2-bedroom though. So we ended up with 5 kids in a 2-bedroom duplex. And, it was kind of like when my kids started asking for a door for Christmas because they were in a section of the basement. It was a finished basement. It was nice, but it was like they just had an area instead of a room, And so like, could we get a door? So that was a moment for us. And so we were like, okay. And then we ended up moving into a rental for a short period of time, which was the perfect time to be looking for a house because we moved into the rental in 2007 and we bought a house in 2009. So that was
Yeah.
another just, gift from God, opportunity, timing, once in a lifetime type timing. And so we started realizing that, hey, this is working.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I want to ask you about regionality here. I know you're a Michigan-based investor,
Right.
and at that point in time, was it Michigan, that 2009 timeframe?
Yes. Yep. We were in Michigan. And so we were on the west side of the state, though. Our east side with all the auto industry just took a beating, but the west side
Yeah.
wasn't as bad. So we actually did pretty well during that time period with our rentals. Matter of fact, our rents went up actually during that time because,
No kidding.
yeah, when you buy workforce housing and you buy it in the right areas, people can earn their way up into them, but then they can also lose their way down into them. And you provide this niche market that really consistently has demand. And so that's how it worked for us during that time period. So it was really helpful. Obviously, we lost value, right? The equity was disappearing, but we were able to actually increase our cash flow.
So you've got cash flow, you've got the greater landscape of the financial crisis in 2008, but you've got multiple duplexes, Michigan based. At what point in time did you start thinking, okay, we're gonna start bringing on some other investors and we're gonna start taking a look at some other asset classes?
Yeah, that's great. So in 2013 or so, we adopted another couple of children. So, and then we had another child as well. So we had 8 children in 2013 going into 2017. And by the time we got to 2017, I was kind of like, this is a lot. I don't know how to provide for them, and there was
Yeah.
there's a lot more story to it. But ultimately, what we realized is that we had equity trapped that we could use to purchase additional properties and then increase our cash flow, but then ultimately long-term increase our net worth as well. And so we started doing that. And in the process of doing that, we were like, hey, this is working well. We found some turnkey providers that are fantastic. We still recommend people to them today. And the result was we were starting to help other people to get invested in single family homes. And that was the moment when we were like, this is really helpful. We were able to teach people, train them how to do it. But for some people, that's a big jump. How do you come up with 30 grand or,
Right.
40 grand or whatever for a down payment and to get established in buying a turnkey property where somebody else is managing it? So again, because my goal was to come alongside pastors and missionaries particularly, but people in general, frontline workers, firefighters, teachers, anybody that's doing that frontline work that probably doesn't get paid what they're worth. Right.
Right.
And so how do we help them do what they need to do? And that's when I stumbled on syndication. When I was trying to figure out what to do and how to use the equity and all that kind of stuff, that was when I went into this deep dive of education. I found the real estate guys, Keith Weinhold, some of those guys that, really were instrumental in teaching me through their podcasts, just through their podcasts, what I needed to know to start making some changes. And then that process led me to understanding and realizing and learning about syndication. And then here I am sitting here realizing, I've been a landlord for 20 years. I have property managers. I have property out of state. I think I could do this from the standpoint of take on the responsibility of the work and allow other people to come in passively and, build out a company that really for us allows people.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
That are ministering to be in the places that need them, not just the
Yeah.
places that can afford them, right?
I want to ask you, Scott, about raising capital. And this is a question that I have personally. I've had a lot of guests who are in the capital raising space, a lot of people that have come from Wall Street too into real estate, but then a lot of folks who self-taught, and I get a wide range of advice and
Mhm,
experience. As someone who's done it yourself,
mhm.
what has been your experience, especially getting started raising capital?
Well, it's a slow process. You're asking someone to trust you. That's the bottom line, and they want, rightly so, to see a track record. They wanna know that you've done the due diligence on the deal. They, again, the root of it all is they want to be able to know that they can count on you to deliver on the deal. And they also understand if you're doing your job right as a capital raiser or as an investment advisor in the way that you would function that way in a fiduciary role, um, there's multiple things that you're trying to do, and it all starts with understanding the investor. What does the investor need? Because what you have may not be what they need, and you've got to have the willingness and the discipline to encourage someone to not do your deal because it's not good for them. It's not a good time maybe, or it's not the right project, or what your deal provides may not be what they need. And so there's this the most significant part for me and again, I've been taught this with my mentors, which is, hey, you got to know what they need. When you start with that, then you're in the best position to potentially help them if you have something that meets that need. Does that make sense?
No, 100%. I think what's interesting for a lot of folks when it comes to raising capital, you mentioned trust, you mentioned track record. People just starting out will say, well, I know what I'm doing is solid, but if I'm just meeting someone brand new, I don't have this extensive track record. How do I start? Where do I start? I've had guests tell me, you really got to start by asking really everybody, or not asking, but telling everybody what you're doing, and that
Mhm.
you do raise capital, and that'll pique their interest. Who is
Yeah.
this person? And I'm interested in real estate, but I'm a frontline worker, or I'm a doctor, or I'm a nurse, or
Yeah.
a pastor, right? And I may not have the educational background or even the time bandwidth to be looking at this, but if I can outsource that or delegate it, that can be a tremendous value add for a lot of people. I do want to pivot a bit here, Sky, and ask you about some of the asset classes that you're involved in, that you're exploring. I heard a couple of
Mhm.
different asset classes before we were hopping on here.
Mhm.
Everything from oil and resources
Mhm.
to multifamily. And I'm sure I'm missing out on a couple, and I don't want to
Sure.
incorrectly state. But how did you start looking at some of these older asset classes?
Yeah. So part of it had to do with listening to investors. As you sit down and you talk through with your investors, and again, it's all relationship based, just sales or investing, it's all relationship based. And so for me, the big task was getting in the rooms, meeting those people, and getting to know what their needs are. And my deals needed to provide for my investors. And so some people are like, hey, this is what I'm good at. This is my niche. Here's what I'm doing. For us, we're more agnostic as far as what the deal is. We're looking for the right partners. Maybe you're familiar with that book, Who Not How, by Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan. Hugely helpful. And like you were talking about earlier, who can help me with this? Um,
Yeah.
that's kind of where we started. And so in having conversations with our investors, we started realizing, well,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
some single family homes would be good. So we did a syndication where we purchased single family homes in Arizona. So that project's completed and cash flowing and doing what it needs to do. Um, we started hearing that some of our investors were looking for kind of hey, I just want a fixed return, something I can count on, something in the double digits. And so we are doing a project in Austin, Texas right now. We're using modular construction to build single family homes in the city. And the returns on that for investors, we have a preferred return structure. In other words, investors get paid first. The general partners get paid after the investors get paid. And that's a 14% preferred return for a 50K investor and a 17.5% preferred return for a 100K investor. We actually even have a 500K tier on that one as well. But again, it's modular construction. So we feel like we've dialed in enough margin to where this ends up being a great opportunity for investors where they can come in passively and be a part of building homes and solving some of the housing crisis that we see. So
I'm a
that's
big fan of the modular space. Huge, huge fan. Especially
yeah,
you mentioned Austin, Texas. Especially being a Texas uh, realtor and having lived in Texas for
yeah,
about 5 years. It's one of these things where I see exactly what you're saying with it solving the housing crisis. You have everything from modular homes that I believe you can find for around the $60,000 range, brand new, to super high end. I would say
luxury, right?
indistinguishable. Yeah, I mean they look just like a stick built home that you would
Mhm.
find. I want to say I've seen them with garages and with porches and even
Absolutely.
possibly multi level. I think it's
Mhm.
incredible what modular is doing off site. Stick built. I've even seen them steel construction so that they can weather potentially disaster prone areas. I think it's
Correct.
incredible what's going on in that space.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I do want to ask you about investing across states. You're in Michigan, you're looking at deals in Texas, I'm sure in other
Mhm.
areas as well. What's your approach to looking at deals and how do you decide where to invest?
Yeah, it starts again. I know I keep saying this, but it starts with people. I mean, you want to start with people where you have relationships. But again, another key factor there is going to be the market. What is the market doing? One of my mentors is Robert Helms, and he always says, live where you want to live, but invest where the numbers make sense. And so, you're looking for those two things. I think you're looking for the right market. So it's got the tailwinds, it's got jobs, it's not, it's diversified. So it doesn't have just it's not a one trick pony as far as the drivers for their economy. But then you're also looking for those people in those metros and in those, greater MSAs who there can help me. And again, what is the game plan? What's the need in that community? It might be a 3 bedroom, it might be a 4 bedroom. It might need to be rehabs. It might need to be, it could, whatever the need is. I think that can drive as well. And again, if your approach is dependent, like most of us are not going to come in and know all those different asset classes in all those different ways of, of doing business. with real estate. And so for us at Common Grace Capital, one of the things that we do is we look for those people that we have relationships with. So I may not do a multifamily deal unless I have a multifamily partner that we trust, that has a track record, that is aligned with us in purpose, that we enjoy working with, that we have a relationship with. That's how you find, I think, from my perspective, how you find those good opportunities. It's ultimately, obviously, the market, but then second of all, finding the right people to partner with.
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, one relationship can make you, certainly in real estate, it could certainly do the opposite as well.
So true.
Scott, we are coming up on time here though. Where can folks go if maybe they're in the Michigan area, they'd like to reach out to you, get in touch with you, or maybe they're outside but would like to present a deal to you, or maybe invest in one of your deals?
Yeah, that would be great. We didn't talk about the oil and gas. I just want to mention we do have a very narrow window of opportunity there, and the projected returns on that are pretty amazing, and it's a very de-risked type of oil and gas investment. It's different than hey, I'm going to invest in 3 wells and hope it works well. This is a much different structure. So if you're interested in that space, and again, that's one of those things where you diversify, that might be an option, but that's an option. So the way you could reach out to us is through our email. My email address, you could reach me at scott@commongracecapital.com. And then if you wanted to just get to our website, you could see what we're actively doing there at commongracecapital.com, and you can go to our deal page and see what's active. Also, if you say, hey, I'm not an accredited investor, but I'd like to build that relationship and know what's going on, you can join our investor club, and we send out information, just kind of educational purposes, but then also keep people informed about where the opportunities we see are and what opportunities are coming our way.
Scott, thank you so much for coming on the show here today.
Dylan, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.